Okay, then, let's go. Our first story. You know, mindless bandits would stop at nothing to rub salt on our collective injury. Consider this. The son of a Sokoto district head who died in captivity has been released after the payment of 60 million naira ransom. The payment was made in addition to motorcycles given to the bandits. We should be utterly scandalized that banditry has become a veritable way of life, in our country, BKO.
Yeah, especially in some parts of our country. It's not prevalent in
the
southwest, for example.
Yeah.
And that's why when the Americans issue travel advisory, the southwest is the only geopolitical zone that they leave out. Banditry, at least the strain of banditry that we witness in northern Nigeria, the northwest especially, and some parts of the north central. We do not see banditry on that scale in the southwest.
Oh, yeah.
We live in Lagos, for example. That is not common here, you know. So, and there are many states too where it's not really common, even outside of the southwest. But it is a big problem in the northwest. In some parts of the northeast, because the Boko Haram terrorists also do a lot of kidnapping for ransom, you know. But and then Taraba State is shaping out to be one of the most infested by bandits in our country. I don't know what's going on in that state. The boundary between Benue and Taraba State, especially the Wukari area, banditry is very common. And there are some highways that you use them
at your peril,
especially before 7 a.m. So there's a need to defeat banditry in our country. The man who was killed, some newspapers have described him as anemia. It wasn't anemia, it was a district head.
Okay, district head.
Yes. I've read the reaction of Peter Obi to his death. His death is condemnable, but I have to make the point that it's not anemia. That point has to be made. And you could see how bloodthirsty these boys are. Just because ransom was not paid, after about 25, 26 days of kidnapping him, they then decided that they should take his life. It is unfortunate that this has happened, but it also happened in an area, in a part of Sokoto State where banditry is very rampant. That is Sabombrini local government.
Okay.
Sabombrini, Isa, Tureta. These are local governments where, and Rabah, the birthplace of the late Sadauna Sokoto.
Yes, okay. Amado Bello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those places, banditry is extremely rampant. And I don't know why we've not been able to solve this problem. Yesterday we were talking about Katsina.
Yeah, I heard.
A man who worked for the governor was killed along with his first wife, and then they kidnapped the second wife and about 25 other people. So this is a big problem, citizen, for the northern elite, the northern leadership. I listened to a professor, the former IS man, who said, look, this is not a problem for Tinubu to solve, that there's a need for northern leaders to put their heads together. But as we have seen, the bigger concern of leaders, not just in the north, is just to take political power.
Yeah.
They are not concerned about how do we rid the north of the problematic Almajiri system, for example, they are not bothered. How do we read the note of banditry? How many judge sessions have been organized? How many of those clear efforts to defeat banditry can we point at that these people have mobilized themselves to say, look, enough is enough? No, that's not what we see. It is how to take power.
It provokes the question of, how did we get here?
No, we see, how to take power is the preoccupation of these people.
Okay.
But you can't be besotted with the desire for power when you are watching your people being killed.
Yeah.
You know, we can't politicize everything. Human life is precious. You can't keep watching people being killed without coming together to say the same zeal that you exert, that you use in terms of grabbing power. You must be able to use that zeal to solve this big problem.
Because
and that's what
because you can.
And that was what the prof was saying, Professor Usman. That's what he was saying. He said this problem had been there. And we as Northerners owe it a duty to solve the problem. We cannot continue to look at President Tinubu and say, oh, he must solve this problem for us.
Yes.
They waited. I am a Northerner, for example. I'm born in Zaria, grew up in the North, schooled in the North. So what is it that you want to tell me? I am a Northerner myself. You are not more Northern than me. I will never even agree with anyone who wants to appropriate ownership of the North to my exclusion. It's not going to happen. But we are saying that this problem has to be solved. And our leaders, Northern leaders, must see this as a priority.
Yeah.
Killing a traditional ruler in the way they have done is terrible. And this is not the first time that even somebody of the rank of Emir will come under attack from bandits. It means that this problem, we must defeat this problem, give it all the attention that it seeks. And I also don't believe that military means is the only solution that we can find. Okay. We must explore all avenues, all methods and tactics to ensure that we defeat insecurity, we defeat banditry.
Yeah. Even about, I share his sentiment. You know, banditry is an organized crime. The way to defeat it must be organized too.
Exactly. You know, it is worrisome when you look at the frequency, the scope, and the severity of impact of the activities of the bandits. And then I quite agree with Babajide. You know, you cannot understand the activities and the terrain of a place more than those who reside in such an area. And another problem I see up north is the culture of Almajiri.
Yeah.
It has lost the cohesion that it used to have. It has lost it. And all of these children are all in the streets. They have become easy prey to predators. Those who would want to recruit them into whatever means of social vices, they are all there. So until the northern elites come together and solve, the first problem they should begin to look at in solving is the issue of Almajiri. Because for whatever reason that it was brought about, it's no longer there. These children are on the street. And it was very obvious during the last protest.
Oh, yeah.
These children, I mean, they just went out and were doing all manner of what? I mean, can you imagine a full-grown man carrying a police signage? You understand? I mean,
I wonder what he wanted to do with him.
That tells you the
level...
Doesn't
know what he's doing.
The level of ignorance that is going on there.
Yes. His action is mad.
Yes. You saw I saw a particular one that a boy, I think he should be below 10 years. He had stones that was planning on pelting the stones at somebody.
Mine is, what's even more annoying here is, after the father died, they collected 60 million naira.
It's unfortunate.
And motorcycles
They do that a lot.
It's obvious that they are only working on their enterprise, because they operate.
It's an enterprise.
Yes, and they already know how to perfect it. Now they have money. Before they would collect money and then probably spend some money to buy their motorcycles and other means of movement. But now it has become part of what they are supposed to pay.
It's part of the ransom.
As ransom. So this is scary. It is dangerous.
We must call the bluff because we can.
Yes.
As he said.
Yes, and I don't think Mr. President can do it alone without the support of the northern elite. They have to come together, all the gatekeepers in every community where they are being saddled with issues like this. They have to come together. You can't solve it in isolation.
This action tells you and I it's a wake-up call.
It is.
It's time.
No, because if we do not do something to get worse, that is my fear.
Oh, yes.
To get worse.
Oh, yeah.
And they can even export this beyond their region to other parts of the states or the country.
They are already doing it.
So there's a need to nip it in the bud quickly.
Essentially because we can. Not saying anything good about my country. The outside world is watching too,